Hello, today we're going to talk about using databases, collections of information that will help you with your assignments and work as foundations to your research papers. The first thing we need to do is go to ccbc.edu, the General College website, and choose Campus Life. At the drop-down menu, you will see the library. Click on the library. And welcome to the CCBC library. As you can see, we have a chat that is running. If you have any questions, we have a live chat. If we're away from the chat, your question will automatically go to our email and we can contact you. So put that in the list of ways that you can contact the library. But we're talking about databases today. So what we're going to do is go to Research Tools. Now, initially, we come up to the card catalog, which includes the books in the physical collection. But today, we're not talking about that. We want to talk about databases. And this is the way you find, again, what I was saying, instead of starting at Google, you can find those peer-reviewed journals, the very highly credible and scholarly items that will help not only support your arguments for your papers, but in the long run, that's going to get you better grade, and what you write will have more power. So remember how to get to the databases. Now, as you go through the databases, I always use this analogy of shopping. When you shop for an item, you look for the store that will provide that item. And I liken the databases to stores of information, highly credible information. So once you enter the databases, you know you're shopping in an area that that is good vetted information, that the college has purchase these subscriptions specifically for your usage for your assignments. I did want to mention, if you hit on this link, there's actually a handout that takes you step by step and gives you a little overview of what we're doing here. So it's a how-to. So if we go through the databases, as I said, we're talking about them being like stores holding those articles and publications that will connect you to your topics. So EBSCOhost is what most people are familiar with and utilize. It's actually kind of the Mall of America of information, and beneath it, once we open it, and we're going to do a sample search in there for this video, once you open it, you'll see there are various choices of disciplines. So they're kind of the stores under the mall. We also have, as you can see, the local newspaper. If you're doing something that has local implications, Western Pennsylvania, the opiate epidemic, what are the numbers, overdose rates, that sort of thing. LexisNexis, this is where you get that. You can get current event information. If you're looking at Fortune 500, business trends. Also, if you're taking a case law class or anything to do with Supreme Court rulings, you can actually, it's marvelous for tracing cases in the legal system. The Literature Resource Center is used for your concepts of Lit, American Lit, World Lit, British Lit. There are literary criticisms, critical analysis, those specific type of articles by experts that you need to support your papers. The next, Chronicle of Education, is trending in post-secondary or college and university information. Facts.com is one of my favorites. It's a pro and con database of hot button topics. You'll see everything there from immigration to legalization of marijuana to racial profiling, all kinds of hot button issues that they'll provide a thesis statement, pro and con of the statements, and then the research will follow in a paper presentation with charts, graphs, all credible resources, and a linking bibliography. There's also a science arm to this database, and in addition, we have a small number of films on demand. ProQuest is another much used collection of information, has the full text of the Wall Street Journal and New York Times, and in addition, we have purchased a pool of criminal justice journals. There are thousands of articles, not just hundreds. There are thousands of articles that relate to the theories and what is part of that will be part of your criminal justice research. So remember ProQuest 2. Mango is something you can do personally on your phone, learn up to 70 languages. You can also put it on your computer. It's a fun thing to add, and it's always great to have another language when you're looking for jobs in the future. Overdrive is the Beaver County Library System ebooks. You can use that as long as you have a library card, and there are cards available now through the Beaver County Library System and the CCBC Library. Just contact us. And then as part of the EBSCO suite, that Mall of America, we have tens of thousands of ebooks in addition to our physical books that you can download, full text ebooks. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back up here and we're going to actually connect for a search. So we're going to go to EBSCO. Now, if you're signing in, you just use your first name, last name. If you are on campus, which we are not right now, you can just use that. But if you're at home, you put your whole email. Okay? And then you use your password that you use for Blackboard and your email also. Okay? And then you just log in. And when you're going into that EBSCO Mall of Information, you choose this top link here. The other things on this page are more supplemental. This is where you're going to do your the crux of your work when you're doing research. Now remember, I said this was kind of an overarching database that had all the little stores of information. I guess little is the wrong term. There's thousands and thousands of articles in each database that can help you with whatever you're working on for your topic. Now, the first two, I call them the general stores or the Walmarts, because they have a little bit of everything. They're going to have information about sports agency or stamp collecting, but they're also going to have critical analysis of the Raven or information on homeschooling. So these two are wonderful places to start. They're our most used databases. Now, as you go down, the next one is also general because it has, oh, and I wanted to point out that that's still quality information. It's that alternative to going out and Google and not knowing where you're getting your information from. This already holds it in a pool. So newspaper source also is a place that you can look that has, newspapers, domestic and international. The next area is your home area for your sciences and your nursing, and then followed by the drug database. If you're doing educational research, right here, always read the descriptions, know where you're shopping for your information. Green File is one of the ones that I really like. It's if you're doing conservation topics or sustainability. The following two, as you can see, are geared toward business. If you're looking for business trends, entrepreneurship, and then we have military and government, which is great for your historical and political subjects, and that vast ebook collection with the more current ebooks. So this is just all here for your use. It's a whole virtual library. So what we want to do is look at a search, and I'm going to show you right now. You check the database where you want to look first. I usually do a couple at a time to keep it narrowed. Do not select all. It just binds up, and sometimes you get so many hits or things that aren't relative. So shop that database first. So I'm going to do initial search. Now this is a bad search. It's not how I want you to start. Start with just a general topic. So if we were looking at immigration and I'm searching those two databases, you see I got like almost 151,000 hits of articles. So the whole idea is narrowing your searches down to what is the meat of your topic. So I have some other specific ideas in immigration that I want to look for, but right now I'm just getting a feel for things. So the first thing you want to do is narrow. So you want to hit full text, because of those 150,000, 100,000 were abstracts or just summaries of the articles, and you need the whole text to be able to use it in your paper. The other thing you do, you can think about doing is choosing peer-reviewed. If you have a research pyramid, the peer-reviewed articles are the best and have the most credibility because they're vetted by experts. So if you hit that, you'll see that brings it down substantially also to 13,000. The other thing you always want to do is look at your date line here, and you want to slide it within 5 years is the best. 5 years is a must if you're in nursing, IT, certain specific subjects, sometimes even 3 years. I say if you're doing the opiate epidemic, medical marijuana, you want to do 3 years. But for immigration, we're going to do 5. And you see we started 151,000. We're down to a little more than 3,000. So by doing those 3 things. And that was just doing, like I said, a general search. But if I was doing a paper on immigration, I think I'd want to do something a little more specific. What about immigration and detention? And we've had many discussions in our country. What about adding the term human rights? So we're adding, and you mix up these terms all the time when you're doing searches. So keep that in mind. That's part of the hard work of it, is mixing and matching searches. But this is just going to be a quick search to get you started. So we do full text. We put in our parameters again of 2015 to 2020. And then I want scholarly, because if I was taking an upper level class, that's what would be supplied or would be required. So you see how we already have, we started at 150,000 and we're down to 15 by doing this. Now, if I wanted one of these articles here, let's say this article specifically, and I haven't read it, but let's say this is the one I was choosing as one of my sources for my paper. I can open it up, and I would read it. If I decided I wanted to print it, I would download it. I can print it from here. If you don't download, you just get the first part of the article, the first page. I can email it to myself. I can get the citation if I'm working in a class that has APA or MLA or Chicagoan. You can start your citation also here by copying it. So there's a lot you can do with this. If you want to go back, research some more, widen your search, look through the 15 results, and choose. But this is the way you really want to do your research now. You want to use the databases. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it greatly, and give me a call if you need more help.